Hi guys, today I want to show you my shot on the Autobomber or the Elementalist, Autobomber, whatever they are called these days. So, like the name said, the base is just a normal Elementalist Autobomber, like the Impulsor's Autobomber or whatever else name is out there. But what I don't like about these builds is that you always have to recast something like Blade Vortex or uh, um, dependent on shield charging and then proccing something with Cost Priest, for example. So I wanted to build up the Embodiment of Laziness, where I basically only have to walk around and kill stuff. For this meta, the only really mandatory item are the Aberrous Hooves, where you get the Aberrous Fury, I guess it's called, so that every step does damage around you. Yeah. And you link this with things like critical strikes, control destruction, added lightning, and added cold. What you also can do is swap out this and put in onslaught to have perma onslaught, for example. Yeah. Everything else is kind of versatile because you can really use a lot of armors, body armors, weapons, shields. Pretty much anything is exchangeable. Just depends on your personal preference. So, for example, body armor, you could also use a carcass jack and impulsors just to follow the guides. Belly of the Beast for more defense, stuff like that. You can use a Cost Priest, you can use any rare weapon, whatever. You can also use Singularity. I tried around with this to get the fancy buff around you, have some more defense capability by reducing the movement speed of enemies, and of course get more damage. Yeah, but what I choose to do was using the Feral's Bite set, or Feral's set. Therefore used the helmet, which gives me the Aspect of the Cat skill, which basically either increase my attack speed and cast speed, or increase my crit strike. Yeah, and this toggles around. And then I use the Ferret's Armor, Ferret's Fear, to get my Frenzy and Power Charge generation. I get phasing as well when I'm in Cat Stealth, and Cat Stealth's duration is increased, and I don't have to reserve any more mana. That's quite important because I use all three heralds. I use conductivity, and I use Cat's Bite. Yeah, so my Herald of Ash is unlinked. That's pretty normal. My Herald of Thunder is a 6-link. If you don't have this armor, because it's pretty expensive, I think it's about 16x or what, and you have to get the colors as well. So the base is strength dex, and you basically need 4 blues and 2 greens for the most part to get the right links, the right jewels in here. So that's pretty expensive as well. I think Verici Planner tells you something like 2k chromatics or something like that to get the right colors. Yeah, but if you don't have this, then your Aspect of the Cat will need mana as well. So you can't use a 6-linked Herald of Thunder, because this would take too much mana. And you have to go back to a 5-link and leave out, in my case, Onslaught, but in the usual setup, Added Lightning. I just haven't gotten the 4th blue link here, so I switched Onslaught from here to here, so that my Aberrath Fury deals more damage because there's Control Destruction in there. Yeah, you can only use a 5-link then, and in the 6-link you could put something like Enlighten level 3 if you have it. Yeah, but as soon as you get both, you can get back to a 6-link because Cat Stealth doesn't need any more mana. Yeah. As well, if you don't have this armor, then you have to take care of your Frenzy Charge generation and your Power Charge generation, because you're an Elementalist and no Assassin, so you don't have a normal way to get Power Charges. So, the most common way, I guess, or what I did before I got this armor, is just have an Herald of Ice set up with Curse on Hit and Assassin's Mark. Works pretty well, but your Herald of Ice, of course, does way less damage than if it has things like increased crit, Innovate, and Ice Bite in it. Yeah, another way is not using the Curse on Hit setup here, but using an Elder Ring with Assassin's Mark on hit. You can use that as well. And you could also just put in any unique weapon that gives you power charges, like I have one here. Sure. Too much stuff. I don't have one here. So there's a wand that's pretty starter wand, which gives you power charges on kill. Yeah. So you have to take care of this, and for for frenzy charges, you can just put in Ice Bite, for example, in your Herald of Thunder setup, and so you can get a frenzy charge when you kill a frozen enemy or when you shatter him. Yeah. What else? My shield, Ashes Mirror. I think pretty standard for Autobomber setup, just because you shock so much enemies and then you get the added lightning on top, which is pretty nice damage increase. I use Advancing Fortress for my shield charge setup, because I don't need the fortifier then, and yeah, shield charge is not really mandatory for me, just for the parts in there and the map where are no mobs, so I just can charge through it. Other than that, I don't really use it. I use Barrick's Grip for some more sustain, to have life leech against shocked enemies and a little more damage. Yeah, that's just a rare one. Viscous Leash, just fit it in, and the Rampage is kind of cool. I use Impressions just because I want to use the Conductivity Aura, and with this you don't have mana reservation. Like you see, you don't really have mana left for this, so with this you can use it without. Concerning Conductivity, when you use this and you don't have this armor and you want to use Assassin's Mark to generate your power charges, then of course you have to adjust your tree and get, for example, this one here. Just move move up here, put like 6 or 7 points in here to get an additional curse, or you're super lucky and get +1 curse here. That's possible as well. Yeah. Oh, this one is just rare. And flasks are kind of basic stuff. Quicksilver flask, diamond flask, wise oak, series, and the life flask. So what did I do as well? Is I put an animate guardian in here with fortify, minion life, and summon ice golem. Just because I had the room for this. Because I don't have any active skill, I have room for the guardian, and he has things like Victorious Flight, whatever it is called, to give me more movement speed, and Dying Breath, Leacast, all this fancy stuff that you know from Solar Spectre builds, for example. Yeah. If you use the guardian, I would recommend putting 1 point in here, because in a Solar Spectre, for example, you have the Stone Golem to give everyone life regeneration. You don't have this here because you have Ice Golem, and even though he's just running behind you, one at a time he always gets some damage and he won't regenerate it, so he will probably die in the end, and it's kind of suck. So if you just put 1 point in here, the life generation is quite enough just to keep him healthy. Yeah. The tree itself is pretty normal for every Elementalist Autobomber guide. You can just follow it, the crit version, which kind of means you have this part here as well. So I only will show you the parts that I added, and which is this one up here. You get 14% reduced mana reservation, which is mandatory to get the 3 heralds and cat's aspect of the cat running, which leads to one thing that you can't use is Comic Calamity, because this one fixes the amount of mana that is reserved by heralds, and this reductions here and, for example, here won't take any effect, so don't use Comic Calamity. What did I do as well? It's right here, because I think only a few people can afford Headhunter. Neither do I, so I used the Inspired Learning jewel, which is kind of cool because it's like the Headhunter version for poor people. When you kill a rare monster, you get 1 of its mods for 20 seconds. As a trade-off, you need 4 notables allocated in radius, and there are really only 4 spots in the whole tree, I guess, where this is even possible. And for your tree, there are only 2 spots, and this one is more useful than the other. The other spot is right here. You can take this, and then you have to take this, 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 and this. Not sure, I don't think those are in. No. So you have to take these 4, and these 3 are kind of okay. And you get some armor, energy shield, all the rest, it's okay. But endurance charge is useless for you because you have no way to reduce them. So I went down here, get another power charge, get another frenzy charge, which is pretty nice. So I have 6 power charges and 4 frenzy charges. I got this one here for a little bit more defense, max life, energy shield, auras. And then you have to choose between this one here, where you get more mana, another more mana, and here you have 14% life, and attack damage, leave the leeches life, so what? But the increased max life is pretty nice, because to get these you have to swap out points from here, leave one out here, for example. So more max life is always good. Yeah, so that's pretty much my adjustments to the tree. Yeah. Let's see a map. Of course, for this kind of build, closed maps are always, or linear maps are always the best maps, because mobs don't have that much room to run from you, and you don't have to run around that much and collect these packs of monsters, which is kind of nice. But of course, this works as well. Depending on your gear, you can go up to tier 13, 14 maps, whatever. It just doesn't feel that smooth anymore, I guess. Yeah. Rubber banding, nice. So like I said, I don't like to use any kind of stuff here, so all I do is pretty much running around using my flasks, using Vial Haste from time to time, and then just run around and everything dies. What you don't have with this build is single target damage, and since you're not using stuff like Blade Vortex, you have even less single target damage than those builds. For example, normal Impulsors build. So this leads to two things. You basically don't do bosses, because you could probably do them by running around them for 20 minutes and let Abreth kill them. Or yeah, nothing, or just don't do it. And you can also do like red beasts sometimes, because they take way too much time. But with red beasts and bosses that are within the map, like Tropical Island maps, for example, you can just kite them around, or Tropical Island is a pretty nice map because he perma-spawns ads, and you can kill those ads, and the AoE damage will eventually kill the boss. Yeah. But other than that, you just don't have single targets, so you're just a map clearer and do whatever you want, just leave it out, like I do, or swap to a boss killer. Yeah, that's my shot on this character. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and have a nice day.